Hello friends, Bob Briskey
and Cindy McKay.
Briskey McKay Group, Keller Williams Experience today in Western Springs with our special guest, Jina Boerman. Jina, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thanks, Bob. I'm Jina Boerman, and I am with Achosa Home Warranty, and we are here today in Western Springs to hang out and talk warranties and real estate. So I'm excited to be here today with Bob and Cindy.
Amazing. We'll see you in a little bit. Stay tuned. So today, I'll be behind the camera and Cindy will be talking with Jina. Excited to hear what they have to say.
So Jina, I have both buyers and sellers all the time asking me, what's the deal with a home warranty? Do I need one? Should we buy one? Can you tell us your thoughts on home warranties?
Sure, you should always get one. No, I'm teasing. They're definitely value add. On the seller side, you can add free seller's coverage, which is pretty awesome. It covers up to $1,000, which that's not huge, but it's free. And if like the washing machine breaks down or the dishwasher a week before closing, it's $1,000 that they don't have to spend, out of pocket at the very end when they're probably looking to spend it on the next home they're buying.
So that's during the time that they have the home listed on the market. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Okay. So that's listing coverage. Typically we say that it starts, I always say you should start it the day that they sign the contract saying, yay, I want to list with Bob and Cindy. Then that would be when you would send me that listing agreement and say, hey, go ahead and get this set up for the free seller's coverage. Okay. You can do it sooner. It's kind of been a trend to do private network and some things like that. I've even did my neighbor's house that was a for sale by owner. So really we can do it anytime once the homeowner realizes like, yes, this is what I'm gonna do and I'm gonna put it on the market. It's good for 12 months. It lasts 6 months and then we have to renew it for another 6. Okay. So that's important to know as well.
And you said that's free seller's coverage?
It is free. It doesn't cost anything. It's just kind of a value add proposition for us. Usually if they add the free seller's coverage and it turns into buyers, then we capture that buyer's plan as well.
Okay. Are they obligated to offer a warranty for their buyers if they take the free seller's coverage?
No, not at all. We do have situations where the free seller's coverage is on there, and then especially with the way the market's been, sometimes they'll negotiate that off. Sure. Sometimes when they negotiate that off, the buyer goes ahead and ends up buying it for themselves. So
Jina, can you tell me a little bit more about what this listing coverage exactly covers for sellers?
Sure. So known to us on our website as seller's coverage, but I prefer listing coverage if I ran the world. Listing coverage, seller's coverage is one and the same. And that covers all major appliances and mechanicals. So think refrigerator, washer, dryer. Some home warranty companies, their lesser plan will exclude some things. Might exclude a washer, dryer, might exclude a refrigerator. With Achosa, no matter what plan you get, including the free seller's coverage and all of our plans as you start purchasing them on the buy side, they all include the same appliances and mechanicals. So that's really nice. So it's not like if they have one of our coverages, they're not going to get something. They're going to get, soup to nuts, everything, appliance, mechanicals. So think dishwasher, washer, dryer. It covers HVAC. I know some seller's coverage does not cover HVAC, but ours does cover HVAC, which is awesome. And then I say appliances and mechanicals, but we do have a couple of one-offs where we have some small coverage. That's for the roof, garage door opener, we have minor plumbing, code violations, and some other things like that. Yeah, so we have quite a bit, yes.
So as far as what we would think of as a traditional home warranty, in the back a few years, that would definitely be something I would recommend a seller to offer to a buyer. Now that we've been deep into the seller's market, more and more I'm seeing a lot of buyers purchase these warranties for themselves, and it's basically the same coverage, right?
Yeah, so whether the seller's buying it for the buyer or the buyer's buying it for themselves, it is the same coverage. And that home warranty, even if it's purchased by the seller, that is still buyer's coverage because that is transitioned to the buyer on the day of closing, and that becomes the plan on the day of closing, even if the seller's paying for it. Okay. So it's really, as far as the purchase goes, it's really all buyer's coverage because it's the buyer's plan. Even if it's being paid for by the seller.
So Jina, tell me what the buyer's coverage covers.
Okay, so we talked about with the seller's coverage, you know, everything that it covers, and the buyer's plan would cover the exact same things that the seller's coverage covered. So HVAC, all the appliances, the little add-ons, roof, plumbing,
So
things
basically
like that.
everything. So then you have different plans. What's the difference between your plans if all the plans cover everything?
Okay, so the difference in our plans, which I love because I love you said traditional home warranty companies at one point, and what I love about that is we are not traditional. We are not traditional in that the homeowner gets to choose their own contractor. So there's no waiting. You don't really wait 2 days, 3 days, 2
Right.
weeks. That doesn't happen. You know, you call the contractor of your choice to come out, and if they can't come out, you want them out today, they can't come out today, you can call the next one, you know?
No, that was so nice when COVID, when everything was locked down, and there were so many people that, like companies that weren't even working and weren't sending anybody out.
Yes.
And so it was nice with buyers who had chosen Achosa.
Yes.
They could actually call someone who was working and get things addressed right away.
Yes, we really picked up market share during that time because some companies had contractors that weren't willing to go into homes, and with us, if you found a contractor that was comfortable coming to your home, we absolutely, we covered the claims.
Yeah.
I really didn't hear of anybody that didn't have somebody, couldn't
Right.
find someone to come out. So, okay, so our plans are $575, $675, and $700. As I stated earlier, they all cover the same thing. So it's not like if you buy one plan, it's going to exclude an appliance or something like that. So they all cover the same thing. The difference in our plans, the $575 and the $675, the difference with those is that $675 has a little bit of additional HVAC coverage and hot water heater coverage.
Okay.
So a little bit higher dollar value on that HVAC and that hot water heater for the $675 versus the $575.
Okay.
All right. And then the $700 plan, the difference with that is trade coffee. So the trade coffee on the $575 and $675 is $100.
What's a trade coffee?
Okay, yeah, and let me finish. The trade coffee
right.
on the $675 is $75.
Okay.
So $100 on $575, $675, and $75 on the $700.
Okay.
What's a trade coffee? Okay, so the best way I can describe that is if you go to the doctor and you have a copay, or if you have a deductible with insurance, that is basically your copay or your deductible. And all home warranty companies have that, so that's a really good question to ask. They range, 75 is one of the cheaper ones, and then I've seen them up to 200.
Wow.
So ours are either 75 for the $700 plan or then 100. And then the thing with that too is that with us, you're paying that trade coffee directly to the contractor, not to us. Some companies take that themselves, but ours, you pay the contractor directly.
Because you're choosing your contractor,
Because you're
right?
choosing your contractor, yeah.
It's the most popular one.
Definitely cinnamon roll for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I can't believe we're at BBs Babies Donuts. Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
So you've been coming here for a while now.
Yeah, so my love of BBs Babies Donuts started, oh my gosh, it's been maybe 5 years ago. Our friend's daughter had a heart transplant at Lurie's when she was 1, and I came in and I asked Debbie, who owns BBs Babies Donuts, if she would donate. And then when she heard the story, tugged at her heartstrings, and she has been the biggest supporter ever since.
Wow.
So not only are the donuts amazing, fresh, warm,
yeah.
it's the cutest place ever, and it's great for like birthday parties. I started taking them to my kids' school, and one of the secretaries in my kids' school, their daughter had it for her wedding cake.
Oh
Yes,
my
so
gosh.
it's for all
Yeah.
occasions, right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing better than to support somebody who gives back to the community and has a huge heart. So not only are they amazingly good, but they're amazing people here. So yeah.
So So Gina, we've talked a little bit about seller's coverage, a little bit about buyer's coverage. You've talked about the different plans. Tell us now what happens. Say I'm a buyer, I've got my coverage, or a seller, something breaks. Now what happens?
Okay, so our claims are usually handled in 3 phone calls, which is really quick. So the first call is my appliance is broken.
Okay.
The second call is the diagnosis, and that's when the contractor's in the home. They will say, this is what it's going to take to fix this. We will approve the repair. And then the third phone call is, yay, it's fixed. And then that third phone call is when we pay the contractor via credit card right there while they're in the home.
Okay.
So there is another company out there that claims to let people choose their own contractor. However, the homeowner has to pay their money and then get reimbursed. With us, we pay the contractor directly. So that's a little perk with us.
So in this situation, like say I'm the buyer and my air conditioning goes out, I would just call like my preferred person.
Right, yeah. So
Yeah.
first you're going to want to file the claim. Just like I always say, treat it like homeowner's insurance, right? If your basement flooded, you wouldn't go have the contractor come out, fix everything, and then call, State Farm or Allstate and say, okay, this is what happened and it's fixed.
Yeah.
So you have to call when it breaks.
Yeah.
So the first step when something breaks is to call in and file the claim.
Right.
So when you file that claim, they're going to ask if you have a contractor. If you have a contractor that you want to use, you can go ahead and call them and have them come out and do the repair. Let's say you've got a homeowner that just moved to the area. Maybe they've been lucky and nothing's broke on them and they don't have a contractor. We'll ask if you guys have somebody that you would like to recommend to kind of keep it in your sphere, and maybe it's somebody that is a trusted partner. We can recommend that they can ask around on social media, because sometimes you get really good feedback on that. Or we can go to Better Business Bureau or one of the top rated online review sites, and we'll pick the top 3 in their area, which is also really cool with us. It keeps it local. So, they're always using somebody right there in town.
You call somebody, you get it fixed, they come in, and then Achosa actually pays the contractor, and then the homeowner only has to pay whatever balance there might be based on their plan. Is that right?
Yes, correct. So they'll pay that trade call fee that we talked about earlier, the
Yes.
deductible, so to speak.
Copay.
Yes, whatever you want to call it, yeah. So you'll pay that to the contractor, and then anything on top of it, some cases you might want to upgrade.
Sure.
Another good thing for homeowners to know is maybe let's say it is a replacement. So let's say it was the dishwasher. So if their dishwasher goes out and they have to get that replaced, the nice thing about us is we'll give them the reimbursement, we'll give them the check, and they can go buy their washing machine. Did I say washing machine? I changed appliances now. Dishwasher. Yeah, they can go buy that dishwasher, and they can go wherever they want. If they want to go to Best Buy, app, they can go wherever they want.
Yeah.
So we don't necessarily do like for like, right? So we're not forcing them to buy the same exact dishwasher that they previously had.
So if an older model, maybe one they didn't like as well, breaks, they can go buy a really nice stainless steel as long as it's within their budget. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like to think of us as a green company. So we do have a little add-on. It's $25. It's really reasonable add-on, and it's for high efficiency appliances. So if you add that $25 add-on, you get an additional $200 on a replacement if you need an appliance replaced, as long as you're getting something more energy efficient. So it's our kind of throw into the green.
So what is the best part about being in the home warranty business?
It's making homeowners happy. Something breaks and you're annoyed, right? You got a sink full of dishes and your dishwasher breaks. So it's kind of coming in and helping them out in a time when something's not quite going right. So you're from Western Springs.
I am.
What's some of your favorite things about Western Springs?
I grew up here riding my bike everywhere. The stores have definitely changed since I was small. But what's happening right now is it's thriving here. It's a thriving downtown. You've got great restaurants. You've got great retail stores. Right behind us is Casey's, incredible. I mean, you have something to grill, you go to Casey's. I mean, so I'm really enjoying experiencing the town now compared to how it was when I was younger. So Gina, what is your connection to Western Springs?
So I guess my favorite thing about Western Springs, which would also be my connection, is my husband, Mike. So the Boerman family grew up in Western Springs. Mike is second generation LT. He sings the fight song to the kids, even though we don't actually live here. So I guess my favorite thing from Western Springs would be my husband.
That's amazing.
Second would be BBs Babies Donuts, and I got a lot of love for Hillgrove Tap, because that's where I usually take my clients in the area.
Yeah, Hillgrove Tap, what a phenomenal addition to this town. I mean, you talk about the food. Wow. I mean, it's a great place to entertain for sure.
Yeah, it's a great spot for lunch or dinner. Cindy, have you ever been in the fruit store?
I have. It's so cute. I love that it's so quaint in this town.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I don't know if anybody's ever been here at Christmas, but if you come in at Christmas, around Christmas time, the fruit baskets are they're all over. It's the hubbub of the holidays, and they're great. They're great gifts for clients or friends, or
For sure.
A good add-on if you've got a holiday party.
Absolutely. So when I first moved back to the Chicago area in 1998, this is where I used to always come with my kids. They love Oberweis.
Yeah, this Oberweis is actually one of the first places that young Mike Boerman and Jina went on a date via Mike's motorcycle. So.
I feel like it's honestly like So Jina, I feel like I have a better understanding of the home warranties, and it just seems like a no-brainer for $600 or $700 to have that extra coverage, especially that first year when you've already spent so much, you know, in your home and your down payment and your closing costs, to not have one extra big expense. And it sounds like Achosa is a great option because you can use your own contractor. You do have a lot more flexibility there. And I gotta say, one thing that I appreciate about talking with you, I just get the straight story. Like, you're not trying to sell me anything. I can call you anytime, and any question, I get a real answer. So are you, like, if someone were to purchase a home warranty through Achosa, are you the salesperson, or are you then the point person, or are you both? What's your role?
Yeah, so I take it through the whole process. So, you know, I'm out developing relationships with real estate agents, and if they have any questions about the warranty process or how it works, or, you know, they're at a home inspection and they want to know if something would be covered, I'm here for that. You know, we have well and septic, so sometimes people will call me and say, hey, how often do you get your well pumped, you know, or your septic pumped, you know, so things like that. And then, you know, so I'm there for the agent, and then once that transitions and the homeowner takes over the policy, I'm there for them too. If they have a question about, you know, how to file a claim, or if I know of a contractor in their area, I'm just, you know, anything that anybody needs, I'm there. You know, call me anytime. I believe in transparency, you know, so I'll always give it to you real. If it makes sense to upgrade the plan, we'll do it. If it makes sense just to get our cheaper plan, hopefully my boss doesn't watch this, but we'll do that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I usually tell people, if you know, deciding what plan to get, I always tell people that our 575 plan, which is our lesser plan, not lesser, but cheaper plan. It's our base plan, so to speak. But I always tell people, if they've got a newish hot water heater and HVAC, that plan is awesome. It's a great plan, you know. And then I tell people, you know, if there's something that you're concerned about HVAC wise, furnace is a little bit older, you know, or hot water heater, something like that, upgrade it. So, you know, I'm not always selling our $700 plan. It's about what's best for the homeowner, you know, in their specific circumstances. So, yeah.
Well, it's been so nice talking to you.
It's been awesome.
Thanks so much.
It was so fun to hang out in Western Springs for the day. So thanks, Cindy and Bob behind the camera.
Touring Western Springs, I've loved hearing what Cindy and Jina have been talking about. Let's face it, home warranties are where it's at. And I just wanted to thank Jina Boerman for being here today with Cindy and I.
Thank you guys so much. It was great.
Jina Boerman, Achosa, rocks.